Hi, it's Marie from the Greeting Farm. Welcome to Stamp and Scrapbook Expo's Learn at Home Mini Edition Scene Building with Digital Stamps. Today, Amy's going to show you how to build more complex scenes with digital stamps. So I'm excited. Let's get to it.
Everyone, Amy here for the Greeting Farm, and we are back with our second digital stamp tutorial in Microsoft Word. Today we'll address some more advanced techniques. So to begin with, we have Word open. We went to layout and changed our margins to narrow. Remember, we have rulers on the top and side so we can visually see the parameters we want to build a stamp within. Or we can do a visual aid and go up into Insert Shape, select Rectangle. Double click to add it to the screen, then go to Shape Fill, select None, and up in the right hand corner are the dimensions of your box. Change it to your card size. I'll do a standard A2, 4 1/4 and 5 1/2. You can then rotate the image either vertically or horizontal for your card. And then you'll go up to Insert, Picture, this device. Go to your TGF folder and find the digital stamps you want to add. I'm going to go use the police folder this time. And we'll double click and let's add the truck in. Double click on the truck to add it to the scene. And remember, you can't move an item without first right clicking and then selecting wrap text and either in front of text or behind text. Now you can click and move it. Let's do some basic refreshers. In order to resize, click and drag. And if you want to flip it, just click on the corner and drag to the opposite corner. You can also go to the rotate icon and select flip horizontally. And then to rotate, there is a rotate icon on top of the DigiStamp. Just click and move your mouse. So we have this truck here, and let's go Insert, Picture, this device. And let's go back to our TGF folder and find a character to put inside the truck. Let's see. How about the park set? We'll add this girl. Right click, wrap text, and we'll go in front of text. And we're going to move her and we're going to put her in the back of the truck. So let's resize her down, get her situated. There we go. And now I'm going to go to Layout, and I'm going to open my selection pane, and I'm going to drag her below the truck. And now she is sitting in the truck, so click off of her, and let's go back up into Insert, Picture, this device, and let's find another image to add. I'll go to just the TGF file. Let's do the laptop series. I think there's a cute girl that would look fun driving the car in there. So double click on that, find the girl we want to add right here, double click, add her to the scene, then right click on the digi, wrap text in front of text, and we're going to have to flip her horizontally, and then we're going to resize her down, and we'll move her behind the truck. And you'll notice if we went and we went to our selection pane and dragged her down behind the truck, you're still going to see her hair kind of sticking out. So let's move her back up front. We're going to have to right click, and you'll notice this crop up here in the top. That black outline is your crop window. So you would click on one of the black lot drags and drag it down, and that gray area that you see is what's going to disappear. So crop it so that you don't see anything outside of the truck, and then you just click anywhere on the screen, and it's going to crop your image. And now we will take her and drag her behind the truck, and you'll notice that we no longer see the hair. So that is how you would crop an image. And now let's say we don't want this to be a sheriff truck, we just want this to be a truck. Let's make her, forgot the back of her head first, so let's crop that also so it's not in the back window. There we go, just click anywhere on the screen to take it off. We'll put her behind the truck again. Okay. Now we want this to be a truck. We don't want it to be a sheriff truck. So how do we get rid of that sheriff writing? Well, you're going to go to Layout or Insert, and we're going to do Shapes, and we're going to select the square. And first we're going to get rid of the little siren up top. And then you're going to change the fill to white, and you're going to change the outline fill to white. And now that covers up that. Now for the sheriff writing, we're going to go up to Insert, and we're going to go Shape again. But this time we're going to go to the freeform, and we're going to have to move it with our mouse. And we're just kind of going to trace around the sheriff with a steady hand. And now, once it connects, we're going to change the fill to white, and we're going to change the outline to white. Got rid of that part. And now sort of the second part of the truck, Insert Shape. And I think we can get away with a rectangle on this one. So let's grab the rectangle and just kind of click and drag over the remaining letters. And change the fill to white and the outline to white. And there we just have a single individual truck for the two girls. Pretty easy. Okay, now let's start over and let's do Insert Picture, this device. Go to our TGF folder. And let's find a folder to add. Let's go to Build a Living Room. Actually, let's go to, we want to find a good window, and I think let's go to the bedroom series and grab this window. And we're going to right click, wrap text in front of text, and we're going to move it over a little bit, resize it, and let's go up to Insert Picture, this device, and let's find a character to add to the window. Choose one of the back looking. Let's do this guy. Right click, wrap text in front of text. Let's move him in front of the window looking outside. And we got to give him something to look at, of course. So click off of the digi, go back up to Insert Picture, this device. And let's find something to put behind the window. Let's go back to the police file. That'll be kind of funny. He's either a nosy neighbor or he's getting trouble. So let's insert the police car. Double click, right click, wrap text in front of text. And let's drag it in front of the window. And we're going to click and drag to resize. And we're going to put it by the window. And you're going to notice we are going to have to crop this. Otherwise it's going to stick out from the curtain. So right click, go up to crop, grab a black line and drag it over. Remember, everything that's gray is what is going to be cropped out. That looks good. So just click anywhere on the screen to crop it, and then click and drag it in the selection pane, and voila! Outside the window is now a police car. And let's build another scene now. So let's just delete these. We'll get rid of the police car. Let's go to Insert Picture, this device. And we'll add since she's right there, the police woman. Right click, wrap text, and let's go in front of text and click her over. We're going to click and drag and resize her and arrange her where we want her to be. Then we're going to click and go crop, and then we're going to crop her so her legs aren't sticking out underneath the window. Click anywhere on the screen and pull her behind the window. And you have another character cropped and looking out into the window. Now we can also crop the window if we really wanted to. Let's go up to crop and let's pull the window in. And you'll notice we're kind of creating some bars that she's either looking through or she's found herself behind. There you go. Let's drag her behind. There we go. We've completely changed the window. Okay. Let's go to Insert Picture, this device. And this time, let's add a floaty. And let's wrap text in front of text. And go Insert Picture, this device. And let's add a character. And then let's put them in on the thing. Put them on the floaty. Let's go back, Insert Picture, this device. Remember to always click off of the current digi before inserting a new one so it doesn't just replace the highlighted one. Click and drag and resize the puppy. And he's going to need to be laying in a pool. So let's Insert Picture, this device. Find a pool to put him in. There we go. Right click, wrap text. And let's drag the pool down and let's rotate it. Just click and drag on the rotate icon. Moving your mouse the direction you want to go. And now let's move the pool over. Click and drag on the corner to resize it down. And there we have a little scene. And let's say we want to print multiples of this. Maybe this is like an artist trading card. We're going to make 6 of them. So you go up to the selection, select all, and we're going to copy. Now I'm going to hide all so when I paste these new ones I don't accidentally grab and pull them. Then you're going to right click and go paste, and you're going to select the picture icon. And then you're going to right click, wrap text in front of, and move it over. Same thing. You're going to right click and you're going to paste the picture icon so that when you're pasting, it's the whole scene. You're not just copying and pasting a single item. And we're going to wrap text in front of text and move it over. There we go. Now let's show all again. And here's our row of scenes. Let's grab this one and kind of rearrange. Now, while the first one is all individually items, the other 2 that we copied and pasted as pictures are now completed scenes. So we're going to go up to our selection icon, select all, right click and copy. Then we're going to go down and paste. And you'll notice there they pasted. They're a little bit smaller, but that's okay. We're going to wrap text. Select that, go to wrap text. And go to in front of text, and we'll now move it down on the page, and we're going to click and drag on the side to resize them to the same as the other ones, and we'll move them over to kind of match. We got to go a little bit smaller. Now we have 6 images on a page. And if we went to either push Control P or you go to File and Print, you're going to notice that you can print a page worth of digital scenes. Voila! 6 images on a page for printing. Let's go back and let's say we want to do some no-line coloring with digital stamps. You can also do that. Click on an image. So we'll select one of these pictures and we'll go right click and format picture, and it brings up this little box, and we're going to go to the transparency, and you're just going to click and drag the transparency over. The further to the right, the lighter it gets, and you can customize each one of these little pictures and change the transparency to as light as dark as you want to go for your no line coloring. We'll do it one more time, and this one's going to be all 3 because remember it's a single image that we copied and pasted. There we go. And if you hit Control P or File and Print and you went to print these out, you're going to notice you have some lighter no line coloring images that you can now color. Okay, for our next process, it is what it looks like. We are going to show you how you can use digital stamps and physical stamps together. Yay! And you can use either red rubber or clear stamps. It doesn't matter what you use. And as you've seen here, I have stamped her up using Memento ink on my cardstock. I use Copic Express it, and it is already trimmed to the standard A2 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. I'm using Little Bean from the TGF 10-year anniversary set. And after we have stamped her up, we are going to proceed to mask her. We do need to put a mask over her so when we run it through the printer, she doesn't get any line smears, and she still remains in the forefront on the card, and the digital scene will lay behind her. So we take our masking tape, and I prefer the Scotch labeling mask, but you can use whatever one you prefer. You're going to stamp it in, and then you're going to fussy cut. And after we've done that, we're going to gently lay it on top of our image and get going on the process. There's the tape I used. And gently lay her down and gently press on down. And now our image is protected for when we run it through the printer. Like I said, you don't want any double lines happening. So it's just the safest way to go. And then after you've done that, you're going to go in and you're going to build the scene on your computer. I can't take you through that process in this video, but it's just like the previous ones we've already gone through. I used the Bakery Cafe set and built a little kitchen scene. Here's what I came up with, and you'll notice see the empty spaces where my little bean is going to sit. And if you need a visual representation, you can always just add like a rectangle that's the size of your character so you know where it's going to go, and then before you print it, just delete it. Easily done. That way you can build a scene around where your image will go. And once you have this all printed out and you're ready to add the Anya, you're going to take it and put it either on a window that is well lit, or you can use a light box. I typically use a window, but for this, and I did print it on just regular printer paper. Don't worry about using a cardstock on this, because this is just for us to tape over and see where to place our Anya on the printer paper. So use your light box so that you can position her and your card on the thing. Oops, there we go. Let's turn it back on. There we go. And there I have her right where I want her. And I'll just take a piece of Scotch tape and start taping this on the piece of paper. Give it a couple on the tops and the bottom so it doesn't jam the printer. There we go. Lay it flat. Make sure it's flat. Get those edges. Now you would go and you would put it in your printer and print it. And when it comes out, that printed scene that's on the back of that paper will now be on the cardstock. And so you're gently going to take the masking paper now off, and note that when you print on masking paper, the ink does not dry very well, so your fingers are going to get pretty inky, so be mindful of that so you don't smear it on your piece of paper. So I'm going to take some scissors and try to avoid all that ink from the masking paper, since it is a more slick surface. And we pull her off, and voila, we have combined the physical stamp with our digital scene. And how cool is that? And it is actually, it is a little bit tedious, but it really doesn't take that much more work. And if you know how to mask physical stamps, this is a breeze, and it's worth giving a try. And so I hope you have a lot of fun, and I hope we get to see some of your creations mixing and matching digital. And now I want to show you what the final product looks like after I've colored it all up. And you'll notice how cute that is. Alright, for our final scene, we are going to build an epic birthday party. We're going to have fun using all the tools we've learned in the last couple videos and make a 5x7 card. So I'm going to go and insert a shape in rectangle, give it no fill, and change the dimensions to 5 by 7 to help give me a visual aid of where everything is on the card front as I build the scene. There we go. And I'm going to put it on the right side since we're going to be adding quite a few images and I don't want to accidentally grab the wrong thing. So go to insert picture and let's add some trees. This whole scene is going to focus on building layers to add interest. We're going to have a background, a midground, and a foreground. You kind of always want to have those three to make kind of trick your eye into thinking it's a 3D illustration instead of a flat card. So I got my two trees. I'm going to flip this one the opposite way just to give it a little different look. And then we're going to resize them. And we're going to go to insert picture, and we're going to add a window so that you're peering outside of the window from the inside as we build this scene. And we are currently working on our background, so these images are all going to be a bit smaller. So right click, wrap text in front of text for the window and drag it over to our little visual box and make sure it fits within the card front. And once you have the size you want, there you go. Now we can work on resizing these trees and positioning behind the wall, the window, how we want them to be. So you just click and drag it in front of the window right now. Let's move it around, and we're going to have to crop it because it's going to show outside of the window. So crop a little bit off. And then you're just going to click off of the image and it's cropped, and you drag it back down. And now we'll grab the other tree. We're going to move it in front of the window and move it around, resize it a bit, and we're going to have to probably crop it as you can see. So bring it back forward. And layering stamps is just all about playing around, trial and error. There's no wrong taking an image and playing around and bringing it forward and sending it back multiple times. Play around with it until you like it. Alright, so here's the tree. Gonna position it down below a little bit. And then I'm going to send it back behind the window again. And there we have it. See, you'll notice the small tree looks even further in the distance than the bigger tree up front. Let's go to insert picture, this device, and let's start getting some party guests going. I'm going to add these two girls, and we're going to right click, wrap text. And we're going to crop this image after we've resized it a bit. So right click and crop, and then click on the black dotted line and pull up until you have the area cropped that you want, and then pull down, and we're going to resize again until we're happy with how they look and where they're positioned. And of course these girls are going to be smaller than any of the other characters we put in because they are in the background. Let's see how this looks. We will go take the layer and pull it below the window just to see. And I want to be able to see their faces a little more, so let's pull them back up front and move them around a little bit and resize still. And make them a bit smaller, move them down. Let's see how that looks. I'm still going to try a little bit smaller, I think. Bring them forward and make them a tad bit smaller. And now let's see what they look like. There we go. I'm happy with that. So now these guests need some presents to bring in. So let's go to insert pictures, this device, and go to the birthday party set and find some presents for these ladies. And when we found them, just double click to insert them into the Word, and then we're gonna insert picture, this device, add another present for the other girl. And once we find that one, we'll double click and add it into the scene as well. Then we will right click on each present, wrap text in front of text. And then we will move them around and arrange them so that you see just the top of them from like the girls are carrying them in. We're going to have to resize, then right click and crop. And we're going to have to make sure you can't see the bottom of these presents below the window. There we go. Let's take it behind the window. There we go. That looks good. Now let's right click, wrap text in front of text, and move this present over, resize it. I think I'm going to even rotate it a bit so it looks like she's holding it at an angle. And all these little details, you know, nothing's perfect. Nothing has to be perfectly straight or aligned. You actually look more natural if you rotate some images. If you cover some up, you can crop them so you don't, some of the images appear off the page, because you don't have to have full images for your mind to fill in what you're going for. So there we go. We got that present. And they look really cute bringing their gifts. So next we're going to start building our midground. We're going to start transitioning from the background to the midground. We're going to start by inserting a rug. So let's go to Insert Pictures, this device. And I believe the Build a Living Room set will have a rug. So let's go to TGF Files. Let's find our Build a Living Room folder and open that up. And there it is. So let's double click, open it up, see if there's a rug. There it is. Let's double click and insert that into Word. Right click, wrap text in front of text. And now we can move it down below. And we're going to resize it. And don't be afraid to let items hang off of the card. That will be cropped out. You don't need to see a full image. It's actually better to showcase some items, especially in large room scenes, to showcase that the room does continue on besides what you see in your peripheral sight. So let's resize this rug and crop. For this purpose, I am going to crop it to stay within the rectangle that showcases our card, but you can leave that and just crop it off when you're cutting your card stock, so whatever you prefer. Let's go to Insert Pictures, this device, and we're going to look for, let's go to the birthday set and maybe add some presents against the wall. She's a popular girl. She's got lots of presents, so I'm going to hold the selection enter button down and select 3, and then double click to insert them all at one time. I'm going to start right clicking and wrap text in front of text. And we're going to wrap text in front of text. Move this one out of the way. And then we'll be able to move them in front of the window and resize them accordingly. And we're going to play with these are still in the background, so we're going to have to resize them smaller when we move them over to the window, because we're going to add some bigger presents up front later on. So let's click and drag this one over. Actually, I think I'm going to right click and I am going to copy it and I'm going to paste it. So it gives me an extra bag here. Then I'm going to move that one and resize it in front of the window. And I'm going to go grab this other bag and take it over. And I'm going to move it in front of the last bag and resize it as well. We're just layering these up. And move this one over. And I am going to resize it a little bit, move it in place, and then instead of this one, I think I am going to go insert an actual one of the other gifts. So let's go up to Insert Picture, this device, and let's find another package to add. Let's do this one with 3. We haven't used it yet. Right click, wrap text in front of text. And we'll move it down here. And we're going to go right there. Arrange it. There we go. So now we've completed the background and are transitioning into our midground now. So let's go and select another image. Let's add another character. I think we'll do a backward facing Ian. This one's a good one. He looks like he's waving hello to the guests. So we're going to right click, wrap text, and move him over. And while we want him to be in the midground, he is going to be bigger than the girls in the back, but not as big as the one we will be inserting in the front in a bit. So let's go and we're gonna add a table now. Let's see. Let's look in the kitchen set, see if we have a table there we want to use. Let's go to a different one, go to our TGF file, and let's check the bedroom. Here's a table. Let's see how that looks in the scene. Okay, we'll see how that one looks. Right click. Now we didn't like that one. Let's insert another image. And let's go to a new set. We want one that looks like a living room table that was set up for the party. And let's go to TGF folder. And let's try the bedroom. We were just in the bedroom. Let's go back to the TGF folder and let's try the living room. There we go. There's a table that looks good. Double click, right click, wrap text in front of text, and we will move it over in front of Ian. We're going to resize it mid-size because it is in the mid-ground. Arrange it till we have it where we like it, and once again, it doesn't have to be, the whole table does not have to be in the scene. Your eye can fill that in. Let's get it where we want it. And I'm still not happy. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's resize him a little bit. There we go. And grab the table. Let's crop it so it fits within the scene. And let's go to, I'm going to make the table still a bit bigger. And I'm going to make the rug a little bigger. Like I said, as you're building a scene, you can always, if your eye tells you to do something, go ahead and adjust it. Insert picture, this device. Let's go to the TGF folder and let's add our birthday girl who is in the forefront. So let's find her. Actually, we're going to put some presents on that table. Something needs to be on that table, doesn't it? So let's add these presents. Right click, wrap text in front of image, and we'll move it over. Resize it. Remembering that it is in the mid front, so we have to make it bigger than those gifts that are in the background. Then once we have those where we like them, we will still rearranging this table. Crop it a little more so it's off the screen just for the visual purposes of this tutorial, but you are definitely welcome to leave that. And now we're going to insert picture, this device. And now I think we will add the birthday girl in the forefront. Let's grab this girl. wrap text in front of text. And since she is forefront, closest thing to us, she's going to be a lot bigger than all the other three characters. Make her nice and big when you resize her. And I'm happy with her right there. So I will crop her so she stays within the card frame. And there we go. Now I am going to go to Insert Picture, and we're going to add another table for her. This time I'm going to go to the birthday set and get the birthday table all decorated. Double click to enter it, right click, wrap text, insert, and we're going to move it on down. And we're going to resize this table nice and big as well. And we'll just crop it to fit within my scene. So once you have it positioned, right click, crop it. Click and drag on the black arrows and move it on over. There we go. Now she's standing in front of the birthday table, so of course we're going to need to start adding some birthday supplies now. Make this a real party. So insert picture, this device. And let's get some balloons going. They went all out for the decoration of this party. Let's see. Add this balloon, insert picture, go add a couple more of the balloons. We'll do one of each balloon, then we might copy and paste some other ones. Right click, wrap text in front of so we can move this balloon and it's out of the way. Resize it a bit. And I'm just copying this balloon. I'm gonna do two of this one. Do a third one. Alright, now let's go insert some of those star balloons that we saw in there. There we go. Double click, right click, wrap text. So we're going to copy and paste it again. And now we will right click and wrap text in front of text for both of these. So we can move them around. So I'm going to move this one, and this balloon is in the background, so it's going to go small. And I'm going to take this star one, wrap text in front of text, and move it right here. And it's going to be in the midground, so it's going to be medium size, larger than the other one in the back. And I'm going to crop it so it goes off the screen. There we go. And now I'm going to take this round balloon, and I am going to wrap text in front of text, resize it down and add it to the background balloons. Now we'll grab one of the oval balloons and we will resize it after we wrap text. Alright, and resize it down to the background and move it back there. So we have a set of 3 in the background by the window. Now let's move up to the middle. Get those arranged how we want them. And these both going to be in the middle, so we're going to do mid-size. Grab the other one. So we'll put it behind. And you want the items to layer and look natural, so go ahead and cut them off, and don't be afraid if you don't have the full image in there. You still can tell what it is. There we go. Resize it a little bit. There. Get these balloons situated how we like them. I'm gonna move. Now let's go. I think we'll still need to be a little bit bigger since it is in the middle. So looking a little too close to as small as the back one. So, alright, now I'm happy with that. So insert picture, this device. And let's go add some cake and party food. We got the cake. Let's insert picture. And let's add some cake decor. And you gotta have a candle. And then let's add we're gonna need some drinks and probably just a slice of cake would be good. So let's find, there's some drinks right there. We'll just copy and paste a couple more in there. And let's find a slice of cake. I know it's in one of these sets. Let's go to the TGF file and let's try maybe let's check the birthday girl set. Not in this one, so we will go to maybe the kitchen set. Let's try that one. And oh, you know, the bakery's gonna have one. There we go. There's a slice of cake. Alright, so now let's arrange these on the table. Right click, wrap text in front of text. Move it down. Let's wrap text in front of text and move it down. Wrap text in front of text and move the cake down. Grab the drink, right click, wrap text in front, and the candle. Now we can move them all around and arrange them on the table. So let's take that cake and move it over, and we're going to resize it a bit. It's going to be nice and big because it's in relative to a cake, because it is in the forefront. We're going to take our candle, make that bigger as well. But it doesn't have to be that big. There we go. Now let's take this little decor and copy and paste it and rotate it. So we have two of them. And we'll put one on each side. Let's take our drink or our cake here, move it over, and we'll flip it horizontal, resize it a little bit, grab our drink, move it over next to the cake, resize it up a little bit bigger. So there we go. We have a completed scene, complete with background, forefront, in the middle ground. As we wrap things up, we just want to give a shout out to the Scrapbook Show and Expo for having us here. We want to thank each and every one of you for joining us. We hope you enjoyed the videos. We hope you learned some stuff and that you'll stop by the Greeting Farm store and check out not just the digital stamps, but the selection of physical stamps as well. Thank you very much for being here and enjoy the rest of the color along and stay crafty, my friends.
Hi again, it's Marie from the Greeting Farm. We want to thank you so much for joining us for the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo's Learn at Home Mini Edition. We really hope you learned something new and awesome and give it a try. So I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.